that comes back after the land has been disturbed or devastated in some way through construction or a fire or maybe a landslide or a mudslide, or the river comes and washes a bank away and then recedes, and then we have this area that there isn't any plants, and oftentimes there's very little nutrition for the plants. There's not much fertility either. And so these plants and a variety of other, there's a whole lot of pioneer plants, they come back, they come to a disturbed area, and seeds are dropped either by the wind. Now this is a plant that when the seed pods open up, it has three sides. It opens up and there's all this cotton, and on each little piece of cotton there's the seed. And the seed just, in the wind, it just kind of travels down the road. And I don't know if you saw at one part, when we were turning a corner and there was, it looked like bugs floating. That was fireweed.
Oh, yeah,
fireweed
I remember
plant.
that, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So it's traveling along, finding a nice little disturbed place to set down, and if conditions are right, it's going to germinate and make a new plant. And pioneer plants will reach their roots deep down into the soil and pull out those minerals that are way, way, way down there. And they can do that by, they have, they exude acid from the tips of their roots. So they can go right up, like you're a rock, go right up to a rock and deposit a little acid. and that acid melts, it melts the minerals, and then the root just sucks that right up, and it comes all the way up the plant, and it goes into these leaves. And so then what happens in the fall? What happens in the fall? These leaves turn red, and they die, and they fall, and they decompose, and all of the minerals that are in these leaves, poof, they go right into the top of the soil. And they do this, they'll come year after year. These plants come back and they keep depositing minerals on top of the soil, and next thing you know, we have the bigger plants that are able to take root and flourish, because what they couldn't do that before because the mineral content was too low to support them, but now the soil is fertile enough for them to grow and flourish. And so it's just succession of plant species that come and go. And I noticed, we're going to go up a little bit farther and we'll see where I used to harvest valerian is now, it's just covered in fireweed. And that just happened this year, because last year I was harvesting with classes the valerian, and there was tons and tons and tons. Now you can't even see the valerian. There might be some hidden, but you just see masses of the fireweed. And I don't know why. That's just how it is this year. We'll see what happens next year. And I find that a lot. I'm constantly having to revise my harvest areas because of other plants will take over, or there's some kind of a disturbance, or there's a bug that comes, see here, or maybe a rust that comes and attacks plants because the conditions are favorable, or a bacteria. And you see by Alicia how stressed out that plant is there, the false hellebore. Very stressed out plant. And if it doesn't survive, then that's an open area for another plant to come up. So we'll see. We'll see what's going to be happening next year.